the most organized in the state, as you know, dealing with politics, is very low voter turnout. So no matter how organized we think folk are, when you look at the numbers, you understand that they don't talk to a majority of the people, and they don't get a majority of the people out. Like I said, very low voter turnout. Not many people are getting engaged, and a lot of people are apathetic and just disillusioned with the process because of those very reasons. And I think oftentimes what we see is machines and organizations that are in power, they kind of play on that. Like I said in my speech at my grand opening, is that they don't believe that they can beat me because they got a better candidate than me, or the candidate is more articulate or more versed in politics, or even know more people around here. They believe that they can win. I'm not even sure if they believe they can win, but if they do believe that they can win, they believe that they can win because they don't believe that people will come out like they should come out. They understand that people are frustrated and upset, but they don't believe that they're upset or frustrated enough to do something. So when you look at the numbers, Irvington is about, I know the last census might have said like 52,000, but we believe it's more around 60. But you can win a mayoral race with 2,500 votes. So we understand that people are not activated and engaged around electoral politics. So our philosophy has always been going to getting more people engaged in the process, and trying to be the manifestations or the outgrowth of a grassroots, organic type of movement that represents the needs of the majority of the people. And hopefully that message will resonate with people, and we can get the necessary support on election day. So that's always our thrust. So I'm not worried about any machine, because the ultimate machine is the majority of the people. So if you can somehow organize that and get people to recognize that you are talking about what they want, then I think that you can get the support. But you do have to be organized. You do have to understand how to get people out. So there are some technical things that you need to have, but I think generally you just have to want to talk to people. You have to want to talk to more people than the other folks. So.
When you go door to door, what are those issues that people talk about that are there for you to speak to?
Yeah, so it depends on where you are, right? In the city, in the town, or in the ward, excuse me. And who are you talking to? If you're talking to seniors, they have a set of issues. If you're talking to homeowners, they have a set of issues. If you're talking to parents that have children in school, they have a set of issues. But the majority, I guess the overarching theme is that people just want to live a better life. They're not concerned with the grand ideas in our heads. They want to live a better life, and they want material benefits. They want to live in a community that's clean, that's safe, that's conducive to the growth and development of their children. They want access to work. They want the streets cleaned up in terms of the young brothers that are engaging in counterproductive behavior, but they don't necessarily want the heavy hand of the law. So we're trying to bring those alternatives. So when we're talking about rebuilding Irvington, not just in terms of economic development, but also the bodies as well. So it's bodies and buildings is what we like to say when we're talking about rebuilding Irvington. Certain neighborhoods need economic development. They need infill development. They need different social and cultural organizations within those neighborhoods, but also they need things for young people to do. And not only young people, they need things for some adults to do as well. Because we look at in terms of addressing crime, not only as a law enforcement issue, but also as a neighborhood and community development issue. And like we spoke before, we have some background in that, in engaging young people. And peace, brother.
What's up, man? You doing good today?
I'm trying to push, man. I'm trying to push.
You always doing good. You always doing
Yes,
good.
sir. Yes, sir. And I was doing okay till I saw you. Now I'm doing better.
Oh, man, come on, man. You always good.
Yes,
you
sir.
guys always good. That's why you all brothers, man.
Yes, sir.
Always
Thank you,
doing
brother.
good, doing positive, brother.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate
All right.
you.
All right.
Yep. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yes.
So the mayor.
So this is Garfield Smith.
How do you do, Garfield?
This is Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Pizarro, right?
Yes, sir.
Pizarro, yes,
Pleasure
sir.
to meet you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. From inside of NJ.
Okay.
Used to be politic at NJ, right?
Well, yeah, we went through a transition period. So, but the mayor makes the case that the town has improved on his watch, and he starts with the statistics on homicides.
Absolutely.
And what do you say to that?
Well, so that has improved. You know, the first thing I say, you know, I'm not even running against the mayor. You know, I'm not running against the mayor. I'm running for the South Ward Council seat. And I would like to hear what my opponent has to say about their vision for the South Ward, because they talk about legacy a lot. Like Slam, what's going on, man? You holding the line?
Yeah.
That's good. Don't forget to come see me, brother.
I'm not.
All right. Yeah. So you know, they talk about legacy, and I understand legacy. You know, I understand Mr. Beasley's history. I respect it. You know, it's because of men like him and other men why I want to run. I just don't believe that you can deed or will your legacy, your political legacy, to your children. So it's never been an indifference or a disrespect toward that. So what I'm saying is that if this was a job interview, this would not even be close, right? You know, but I understand that that's not the way we look at politics, and I'm okay with that because that's the game that we chose to play in. But I'm saying, what have you done to prepare yourself to lead the people of the South Ward? What have you done to develop a cohesive vision of where you believe the South Ward needs to go? And have you taken that to the South Ward and asked the people, are your goals and objectives in line with what they want for their lives and the lives of their children? So that's my kind of response to that. I think there are some things that we are moving forward within the town, but I think just ask the residents of the South Ward, do they think that we're going in the right direction? And not only that, are their basic needs being met that they want? So I think those are the important questions. And I think that, my opponent, I think she has to say what's the vision. And we have led the conversation and the discussion about that. You know, I heard a speech, there was some short talking points in there, but, we laid that stuff out early in our literature, in my announcement speech in May about economic development, about young people. So we're kind of pushing that envelope. They've never used that language. They've never been focused on those things. When you're talking about economic development in the town, the things that you have to show for it, the project at the hospital is a good project, and then you have the Taco Bell. Outside of that, there's no comprehensive strategy to rebuild neighborhoods. So there are some positives, and like I tell the residents of South Ward, anything that the administration is doing that you like and you agree with, I will support. The other things, we will be a counterbalance to that. We will be a voice that represents the South Ward and not just a member of a team. So I think that that's very important. I think that's the difference that you need. So we're sophisticated enough to support the things that are worth supporting. Peace. And, and oppose the things that the people of the South Ward are not supportive of. And in addition to that, because we're like, co-equal, the legislative branch and the executive branch, we have to understand that as well, is that we have to have an agenda and a vision to set forth as well. So